Hey folks, so I want to really quickly, I'm going to try and keep these videos short, talk about perfectionism um, and the striving for perfection. I don't really want to talk about yet, it's more of an individual thing, what perfection is for each person. But there's two things that I want to mention, and that is striving for perfection sends us two different ways, and one is that it makes us override because we're so frustrated in not being as good as we want to be, or as horses not progressing as much as we want them to. And it makes us change. This is for me where the problem is, when it makes us change how we train, and it makes us become too demanding, too pushy, too unforgiving in the riding, too rigid. So we become mostly, this is I think a competition problem again, you know, you'll have heard me mention before that steers are training. The striving for perfection means that we repeat the hell out of competition movements and lose the ability to adapt that movement for what that horse really needs, and adapt the movement to help the horse, and it just becomes this competition movement that is not actually that helpful. So that striving for perfection, although it seems to be the right kind of thing, actually is sending us completely down the wrong path. The second problem is the idea that we fall short of it, and then we start to think, well, I shouldn't really go for that. And what's often perpetuated in the equestrian industry is this idea that, well, I'm just having fun. So this gives me the license to not examine the training, not examine what I'm doing, not examine how my horse is receiving it, with the caveat that he's always having fun and he's having a lovely time. So I'm having a lovely day out. I'm absolutely destroying his confidence in work, but I'm having a lovely time out. And what's more reassuring for me is the fact that because it's unattainable, because you can't ever reach perfection, you never have to feel like you've fallen short, because it's not something you can reach. So you find what is your idea of perfection, and the only thing you take from that is that you start to recognize that there's something in that picture of that rider, or that rider-horse combination, or that horse-head competition, something that resonates with you, and then find out what did they do that you could use in your own training. But you then give yourself the permission to go, today's not the day. It doesn't matter, because perfection is completely unattainable. Is it inspiring me to work in the right direction? That's all it needs to be. So let's not perpetuate that being a perfectionist means that you're ambitious and driven. Being a perfectionist means that your idea of being perfect makes you anxious on some level, and that gets in the way of the true training. Or your anxiety about perfectionism makes you so vulnerable that you don't even go down that path in the first place. So realize that perfection is a driving factor, not a finish line. It's not the end goal.